In this episode of 4x4 Australia's How to Off-Road Driving series, we're going to talk about driving in convoys and the importance of proper convoy procedure. So whether you're an experienced four-wheel driver or you're new to four-wheel driving, you need to get your team together so you can all have a chat about what's going to happen throughout the day. G'day guys, how you going?
Good, Dan, good. Thanks for organising the day.
Yeah, no worries. One of the important things is to pick your lead driver and your tail end Charlie. That's very important. Now Randall, I know you've got a good radio, so we'll be able to communicate me up front and you down the back.
Yep.
And you can be tail end Charlie if you're happy to do that.
Happy to be tail ender, yep.
Awesome,
Yep.
and you guys go in the middle. Now, now we all need to know we're on the same radio channel obviously, so UHF 76 I think we'll go for today.
Okay, yep.
So before we get underway, we need to make sure everyone has a copy on channel. So I'll do a radio check and wait until every one of you guys gets back to me. So when you're driving in a convoy on gravel roads, the vehicles are going to be generating a lot of dust, and you do not want to ever drive in the preceding vehicle's dust. Firstly, it's very dangerous. You can't see where you're going. The other thing is you won't see obstacles in the road. You could hit potholes or go through bull dust holes and all sorts of stuff. And thirdly, it's not good for your vehicle. That dust will go into your vehicle, even if you've got a snorkel, it'll go into your air filter, it'll block your air filter. Not good at all. So just stay out of the dust from the vehicle in front of you. Now, because you're not driving in the dust from the vehicle in front, the convoy is going to spread out. And that's why it's really important to all be on the same UHF channel. So if you come to a fork in the road or an intersection and you're going to make a turn, you need to let the rest of the convoy know what's happening. Firstly, you're going to pull up at a safe spot, and regardless of the fact you're out in the middle of nowhere, use your indicator because that will make you more visible for the vehicle behind you. Do not go off that turn or off that track until the vehicle behind you has acknowledged that it has seen you, preferably by a UHF radio call saying, yes, I have seen you. That second vehicle has to also pull off on a safe part of the road or safe part of the track. Use the indicator and then let the vehicle behind know. Finally, when our tail end Charlie gets to the corner, he doesn't have to mark the corner, there's no one behind him, but he has to alert the rest of the convoy that he has made it around the corner.
Tail end Charlie's through that corner, we're all as a group together.
Awesome, thanks Randall, appreciate it mate.
Make sure that the vehicle behind you hasn't missed you and goes sailing on past. If they do, you're going to have to call them pretty quick on the radio before they're out of range.
Yep.
If the lead vehicle does not acknowledge the tail end Charlie's call, then everyone else in the convoy should pass that message along because UHF radios have a very limited range. Once the lead vehicle knows that tail end Charlie has made the turn, the lead vehicle can be guaranteed that the convoy is still together. The other thing you need to do with your UHF is call out oncoming vehicles and then pass that message on down the line. Guys, you've got an oncoming vehicle, you pass it on to the next vehicle down the line, and so on all the way back to tail end Charlie.
Tail end Charlie's past the oncoming car.
Good on you mate, thank you.
So if I see an obstacle on the track, I'm going to call that on the radio too, you know, whether it's a pothole or the track's eroded or something like that. I'll call it out on the radio, and if you guys could pass it down the line to tail end, that'd be fantastic.
More than happy, yep.
So we got a bit of a stick poking off the track here, more like a branch. It's on the left-hand side, just keep an eye out. Okay, there's a big ditch here on the left-hand side again. And another thing, Randall, I just want to say, being tail end Charlie, keep an eye on your mirrors, mate, because if we got faster traffic coming up behind us, you might want to call that out, and we can all pull over and let them pass, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to talk about is when you're driving in dust, you want to be as visible as possible. So we're all going to run with our headlights on at all times when we're on gravel roads.
Yep.
And when it comes to UHF radios, don't take the budget option. You want to have a good quality radio that'll give you the best possible means of communication with the rest of the guys in your convoy. And make sure that radio is fitted to the vehicle properly and wired up properly, and that your antenna is a good quality antenna as well. Give it a test before you head out on a trip, because you don't want to find out it's not working properly when you're already on the road. So when you're driving along in state forest areas like we're in now, you might see a sign on the side of the road saying that industry is working in the area, and it will usually have a sign with UHF channel that those workers are using. It's a great idea for the lead vehicle to run a second radio Usually you might have a handheld, and that'd be a handy thing to have. You can put your handheld on channel 11 to communicate with those blokes that are working, and still maintain the channel that you're on with the rest of your convoy, so you can pass messages on. So if you're driving through those areas and there's logging trucks working, for example, they're very big vehicles. You want to give them plenty of space, and if there's one coming your way, you'll want to pull over. Make sure you've got plenty of room for the rest of the convoy to pull over, as we mentioned before, and everyone pulls over and keeps out of the way. So there you have it, 4x4 Australia's How to Off-Road Driving Guide, tips on proper convoy procedure. Remember, stay out of the dust of vehicles in front, have a good UHF, keep in touch, communication is key. Get everyone together at the start and make sure everyone's on the same page, and that way you'll have a safe and fun trip.